know, I could get in there, go down to the body. You know, I could do it all in there, I feel. So I definitely feel like I have what it takes to do better than Caleb Plant did.
All right, changing things up a little bit. Canelo, he earned a decision over Berlanga. If both you and Berlanga are successful in your next fight, do you believe you'd be able to secure a stoppage against him against Edgar?
Berlanga, yeah, for sure, man. You know, but Berlanga, man, he's never even said my name. You know, he'll say stuff after my fights and like criticize my performances, but he'll never say let's fight. He'll never say let's run it, let's fight next. You know, and that's what I say. I don't criticize. No, I say let's fight. You know, let's get the fight going, and I hear crickets. You know,
everything but let's fight. From
exactly.
Berlanga.
You know, so. When he's ready to fight, then he can open his mouth and say something, you know. But until then, keep that mouth shut, man.
And then the last question, man. Who do you believe has a better shot at landing a potential fight with Canelo, you or David Benavidez, and why?
That's a great question. I feel like at this point, me, just because I mean, how long David's been waiting his whole career for that fight, you know, and it hasn't happened, you know. So I just feel like at this point, David's already over it, you know. He's already looking to be undisputed at 175, you know, and do other bigger things that don't involve Canelo, you know. And like, I'm the #1 contender right now at WBO for Canelo, you know. So I'd say I'll be closer than David right now. But there's no telling what Canelo's going to decide to do. So we'll see what happens.
That's what's up, man. Well, good luck, and we appreciate you, dog.
Thanks
a lot, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Diego, man, I met you on this right here about 5 or 6 years ago
Yes,
when
sir.
you just signed, I think, with Matchroom.
Yeah, I was 18 years old.
18, man. How's the journey been so far?
It's been amazing, man. You know, from thinking back from when I was 18 and I was sitting here, I feel like here it was the first time where I felt like I got a lot of love from the fans. Like everyone was screaming my name. You know, people were asking me for pictures. You know, and as an 18-year-old kid who's starting off his career, it's kind of like mind-blowing. You know, it meant a lot for me at the time. You know, and it kind of prepared me for what's to come. And since then, it's been an amazing journey. You know, now 23-0. Back here this time, co-main event. You know, the last time it was under Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas, two guys who I grew up admiring, you know. So to now be back and sharing the stage with Jesse Bam Rodriguez, was, you know, a pound for pound one of the best fighters in my era, you know. So it's just amazing, you know. Gonna keep climbing the ranks, gonna keep building my name, and hopefully, you know, become world champion soon.
I was just talking to your trainer, Jose Benavidez, who I've known for many years. And he's ready for you to get into an interim title or even a world title. How does that make you feel?
Amazing, you know. I feel I'm ready as well. You know, whoever it is, anyone in the division, you know, I feel I could beat. You know, so I feel I'm ready for anyone. You know, of course, right now I'm locked in on Trevor McCumbee. This is my task ahead. And but after that, you know, we're looking for big fights. Definitely, like he said, you know, some interim titles or something nice like
Billy
that.
Or something like that.
Exactly, and Billy, Munguia, Berlanga, those type of names.
Yeah, I heard you mention Canelo, your WBO #1. Has there been any chatter? You know, Eddie obviously has that relationship with Canelo.
Yeah. Eddie Hearn, I've been on the phone with him a couple of times, and he's mentioned some things where we can activate that mandatory, you know. So right now, like we know, Canelo is booked out already for he's just had to fight with Skull. Now he's booked out for Crawford, you know. So we're kind of just staying focused, you know, doing our thing and letting him take care of his business. And whenever that time comes for that fight, you know, I'll be ready, you know. But like I said, if we can't get that Canelo fight, then there's a lot of other big fights that we can make as well.
Crawford, Canelo, you mentioned it. How do you see that fight playing out?
Great fight, man. Two hell of a fighters. You know, I feel if anyone has the edge, it'd be Canelo because of the size, you know. But again, you know, Crawford is really fast and elusive and can move, can box. A lot of experience, man. So it's really hard, man. I'm excited to watch that fight. I haven't been this excited for a fight in a while.
Now you got Jamal Charlo coming back into the mix, into the picture. What were your thoughts on that?
What weight do you think he's coming at?
I would assume 168, but I don't know.
Hopefully 168, man. You know, we need some big stars in this division. You know, I feel like there's a lot of young fighters coming up, and the older ones are kind of moving up or retiring. You know, so it'll be great to have a name like Charlo back in the division for sure.
Yeah. Entertainment, if nothing else.
Oh yeah, man. He's a hell of a fighter. You know, another fighter I grew up admiring as well. You know, so to one day be able to share the ring with him would be a dream come true for me.
Now, I'm sure you've gotten a lot of education working with Jose and his son David, and maybe even Jose.
Jr., yeah.
What has it been like being in the ring with those guys and just and learning?
Oh man, it's been amazing. You know, these guys have a lot of experience. You know, they both had unique roads to becoming world champions, and you know, mine would be different as well. You know, but you know, we all work for the same goals, you know, so they did it, and now they're guiding me to get there, and they tell me all the time that I'm on the right track, you know, I'm doing everything right, so now I just gotta stay focused and be patient.
What is it, you've been on this journey now since 18, like you said.
17. Yeah.
So you go from a kid with all this potential, amateur, you know, all the awards and stuff, and now you're almost fighting for a world title. Do you feel like you're still getting better or even close to your potential?
Definitely still getting better. I just turned 24, you know, so I feel like my man strength is coming in now. You know, I don't feel like that kid anymore. I feel like a man, especially after having my baby. You know, I feel like that really aged me, you know, and turned me into a man. So I'm excited, man. You know, like you said, from 17 to now 24, 23-0. And just hungry, man, and ready to take on whoever they put in front of me.
Do you feel like, I mean, 168, where do you think you'll end up at? Now you see David going up, maybe even a 190 fighting Zurdo. Do you feel like you'll end up at that point with your size? And
potentially, for sure, man. Like I told you, you know, I just turned 24. You know, I walk around like 185. So definitely could move up in the future. You know, I feel like a few more years I get a little bigger and definitely have to move up, because I'm not the type of guy who likes to struggle to make weight. You know, once it's getting a little, you know, I move up. You know, it is what it is. I started off my career at 160, and then I was walking around 178. You know, so I'm like, I can't cut this much no more. I need to move to 68. I don't like to cut weight. I like to stay there. You know, where I'm at.
And you feel strong and you feel good.
Great. I feel amazing. Feel better. I like to not have to wear saunas and stuff during fight week, you know, and I'll be good.
You're probably the only one in boxing.
Yeah.
What should we expect July 19th here in Frisco, Texas?
Expect another great show from DP, man. Do what I do and just take care of business and be one step closer to becoming a world champion.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Good luck.